It has been 8 months since I moved to Australia, and in that time we have planted hundreds and hundreds of different plants, and we've grown them all from seed. And obviously that means that they have all started to germinate and they're all grown up now, and that also means that we have way too many of them sitting inside their pots, and in turn we need to actually repot them and separate them out a little bit. Don't be there. Yes. Now, talking about plants that are constantly germinating, a couple weeks ago, you guys may remember that we actually planted up Drosera mincara. Now, this is actually the world's smallest Drosera, and I recently found out that it is not a tuberous Drosera, it is a pygmy Drosera. And it's not Drosera mincara, it's Drosera pygmiae, the world's smallest Drosera. And so when Richard David sent it over to me, he labeled it as mincara, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of this before, but I trust you. But turns out it's pygmiae, and these guys are busy germinating, so we have to move them outside, let them join the rest of the collection. And also there is something else that happened to me yesterday. Now, you guys may notice, you can even see there in the background, we have a whole bunch of rosemary bushes that are growing at the bottom of the garden. Now, I may or may not have mistakenly killed 2 of them, and I'm not sure how they actually died. I think they may have been poisoned by something, but I'm not really sure because I have never really sprayed them with anything, but because obviously I'm renting this place, I am kind of the one who killed them. But I have awesome landlords, so they came past, they did some painting of the fences outside, and they did a little bit of their own gardening, and I explained to them, those ones died off, I have no clue why, and they went out and they actually bought 2 more rosemary bushes and 2 lavender bushes so that I can plant them back up in the garden and obviously put these lavender bushes wherever I wanted to on their property, which is super, super awesome. So before we go look at our collection, I'm going to very, very quickly with you guys, very quickly, repot these guys into the ground there and somewhere else around the property. So let's go do that real quick.
I walk to you so I can be close to you. It's really simple if you look at it that way. Time that we get by with money we don't know. Pockets empty but ours are full anyway. Hey. Playing like children and love like R&J. You were too good for me, but I wanted you anyway. I always loved you over my head, even when you lived alone to make your parents mad. Say goodbye to your old life, turn the page, follow my bed. I don't care if loving you over my head.
Now that we have planted up those lavenders and the rosemary bushes, what we're going to do now is we are going to go down to the collection and we are going to choose a pot that we're going to be repotting. Now, I'm not going to randomly select one. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to take the pot of Drosera capensis, the normal Drosera capensis, because obviously these guys are the ones that grow the best, grow the fastest, and they are in the pot which is the most overpopulated. Besides them, the spatulatas are the ones that are growing way too much. They should be repotted much more than the capensis, but they're busy flowering, so I don't want to disturb them too much while they're flowering because I would like to get some of those seeds so I can send them off to some of my friends here in Australia, especially you, Richard David. As you know, some seeds are coming to you. So those seeds obviously need to be developed, and if I disturb the plants right now, the flowers may not develop as well and kind of don't really want to mess with them right now. But they'll be done flowering in like a couple of weeks. So after that, we'll be repotting them as well. So I'm going to go get that pot of the Drosera capensis. I'm going to bring them inside, show them show you guys the pot, and we are going to repot them inside because I don't want to be bending over outside. It hurts my back because I'm getting old, even though I'm not that old. So we're going to be repotting it inside the house, and we will talk a little bit more about that when I go get them right now. Okay guys, so as you might be able to tell by wearing a different shirt and everything, that it's been a couple days since the video that I was recording, the other part of this video. Anyway, it's been a couple days, and the reason for that is because I ran out of time, and secondly, I now have some bad news to share with you guys. We will be repotting the plant still in this video, so don't worry about that. But some of you guys who have been in contact with me or may have been following the channel for a while might know that I wanted to open up a website, and I was really excited for this website. It was going to be another business that I opened up, all about plants and different things. With them, I don't really want to give away too much information on the details of what I wanted to do with the website, but I will in hopefully a future video. But anyway, I wanted to build this website the way I wanted to do it and build it the way I liked it and everything, but I am not very good with developing a website. I've never done it before, so it would obviously take me a very, very long time. So I decided to get someone to help me to build this website, and everything was going fine. This was like 5 months ago or something crazy like that. I got this guy to come and help me on the website, and he was building it and everything was going fine. It was very, very slow, but eventually we got a website up, but he kept changing his mind about different things, and eventually we had to change the website, like the hosting of the website, like 2 or 3 times. But that was fine, you know. Obviously I had to pay him all this extra money for it, and that was fine until about a week or 2 ago. He said, oh, we have to change it again. And of course I didn't know what was really going on. By this point I'm starting to get quite annoyed with him because he's constantly changing these things and updating it and doing this, changing that, and to be honest, like, to see what the work that he was doing, it kind of looked like he was just copying and pasting code and just putting it there, and that was kind of it. So anyways, the video cut out because I got a phone call from my mom about this exact thing. So anyway, we paid him, and he was supposed to move the website to something else. And as I said, by this point I was getting quite annoyed because he's constantly changing these things. We constantly had to pay him more. And then after we had sent him the money, he had just not replied to me at all. I had left it for about a week because maybe he was busy on it, maybe he was writing an exam or something, because he said he was writing an exam, but I don't know, I don't think he was a student, because he never said he was a student. He said that his job was making websites. Anyway, paid him and he didn't say anything for a week, and then 2 days ago I messaged on the group, because we have a group like of people who are developing this website, and I messaged him saying, hey, how's person, how's it going, how's the website development going? And he didn't say anything. So I left it because I thought maybe he was busy or something, and I decided that I'd message him again today. So I go into the group and I see that he has left the group, and I private message him saying, hey, is everything alright, what's going on? And he had blocked me. So obviously it looks like he has taken all the money that we've given him and ran off, and now we have absolutely nothing to show for it. There is no website, because the website that he did make previously, it's obviously been taken down because he was moving it. So there's nothing to show for it. He obviously has blocked me, you can't contact him, and we don't really know what's going on with that. And the other thing that really sucks is that this is a South African guy. So we decided, and he needs help quite a bit, because obviously in South Africa things are not easy for most people, and he needed some extra money sometimes, you know, for food and for bills. And he would ask us this, saying, can I please have some more money for this? And I felt bad for him, so I'd give him some money. He would ask my mom would give him some extra money for that kind of stuff. And after even our generosity, he still kind of like took the money and ran off, which really sucks, because for us, we're also in quite a tough situation. My mom looks after about 5 people. She pays for all their food and everything. My stepdad has lost his job due to the world's economy problem right now. Obviously, I'm here by myself really in Australia. I sold everything to get into Australia. So it kind of sucks that this has happened, that he's taken the money, nothing to show for it, and it really sucks. So just thought I'd let you guys know about that, something that's happening in my life with the plants. And yeah, I was really excited for this business to open because it'll be something that's really, really great for everyone who loves plants, because I really wanted to connect people who sell plants and people who want to buy plants and just nurseries around the country. So looks like I'm just going to have to do it myself. Like I do for basically everything, just do it yourself because you can't really trust many people. So yeah, I'll most probably talk more about that in future videos, but that's something that has happened and I thought I'd let you guys know. So let's get back to repotting our plants. I'm going to go get our Drosera capensis. It is Drosera capensis, the red variety, and these guys are super full, as I've said. Gonna go get them, plant them up, separate them, do it in the kitchen. And if you guys want to buy one of these guys, let me know. I've already sold about 5 of these plants to a couple of people here in Australia. But if you are one of these subscribers and you want a Drosera capensis, a red one, do let me know. You can comment or you can email me or even reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. And I'm selling them for $10. That's potted, so it's pretty cheap. And if you're living somewhere else in the country, I can send it to you bare roots or potted up, and the prices for shipping will vary, but we'll figure that out if you do want them. But anyway, let me go get them and we can start potting them up. And here is our Drosera capensis var red. Oh, let me actually change the camera. This plant is much bigger than what I anticipated, guys. Okay, that's a little bit better. So as you can see, this pot of our red Drosera capensis is extremely full. You guys can see there are plants everywhere. I would say there's at least like, I'd say 30 plants in this little pot. So we need to get them all out of here. And I'm just going to clean off a little bit of the algae off of the sides here under the water real quick. Now, what I like to do is that the very first thing that I do is that I will take the plant out of its pot. You need to separate them all and see how many you actually have and get rid of the old media so you can count how many pots you need and all that other stuff. I have these trays here that I just keep. And then what I'm going to do is going to take it out inside the tray so we don't make a big mess and separate the plants up like that. And it's very simple to do this. So as you'll see, I'm just going to grab the plants like this. Your hands will get very gross and sticky, as you can tell, but it's all right. Squeeze the sides of the pots just like this and it all slides out. And there we go. Nothing left inside there. You can see all the roots here. Very happy plants, and put them down just like that. And now my hands are disgusting, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be getting them even dirtier than this. What I do is that I just tease the bottom like this, just pull out what I can, and we'll go from there. Just separate them essentially. And there we go, guys. That's already what, 15 plants in this tray, and obviously there's going to be a lot more on this side. So let me get that all finished up and I'll bring you guys back once they're all separated. Okay guys, there are a lot of plants, way much more than what I expected, probably 2 or 3 times as much more than what I expected. Check this out. Look how many there are. But that's not it. There's that and that. There are 93 plants here, guys, and that's not even including the tiny little ones. So I have a lot of repotting to do, guys, so let me go and get their pots and the soil, and I'm going to bring it into the kitchen because I do not want to walk up and down multiple times to fill up this little bucket over here. So let's go get that. Okay guys, so as you saw, we have brought everything that we need into the kitchen, and I'm going to explain this one time only because people always ask this and I say it all the time, but I'm going to explain it once. We are using a mixture of peat and perlite in a ratio of 1:1. So that means one of these cups, 1 pot of perlite, 1 pot of peat, you mix it together, add some water, and that's what the plants need. We're going to be doing that for all of our Drosera capensis over here. We have our peat over here. We have our perlite. Here are tons of pots. We have like 500 pots in here. We have 1 big pot. This is our colony pot. If you don't know what that means, make sure you watch the rest of the video. Over here we have our mixing pot. We have our jug full of rainwater or reverse osmosis water, and our spray container. And this is the clip. This is very important that I put my phone into so that we can actually watch the videos, guys. So let's get started with these 930 something plants. No, I'm joking, it's 93, not 900, but it feels like 900. Anyway, we have some seeds at the back here from our different tuberous Drosera. The seeds were falling everywhere and I only saw today, so we're gonna have lots of rogue seeds. And if you're living in Australia, you want some of these plants, please let me know, because these are way too many for me, guys. I do not want 93 Drosera capensis, but let's start potting them up. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with so many of these damn plants. Holy... what we're going to do first is that we are going to put our plants into our colony pot. If you don't know what this is, you should go back and watch some videos. I got this pot so we can have a colony of specific plants. So obviously our first one is going to be this Drosera capensis, these red Drosera capensis. And I'm going to choose the ones that are my favorite ones. So that still leaves me with 83 plants, guys. And there are 6 people who want plants from me, so that's 6 plants less. We still have like 74, 73, whatever plants that really I do not need so many of. But this is gonna take ages, guys. Let me do this big pot first, and then we'll see where we go. Okay, guys, just wanted to let you guys know, make sure you have a mask over your face when you're doing this mixing of the peat and the perlite, because the particles get into your lungs and it can really hurt you, so make sure you wear a mask. You guys can see how full that bucket is, and we need to add some water into it now. That water just disappears. You guys might be able to hear it, but my neighbors are doing construction. As I've said many times, they're always doing something. So let's go back to potting up our plants. Okay guys, so the soil, as you can hopefully see, is very mixed up now. Maybe a little bit less mixed up than I would have hoped, because this was actually filled too much. So next time I'm not going to put as much soil in, just so that it can mix better. So now what we will do, we will put the soil inside this pot, and this procedure is going to be the same for all of the pots that we're going to be doing today. What you need to do is that you're going to fill up the bottom layer, like the bottom, in this instance, because it's a big pot, the bottom inch is going to be packed tightly with the peat mixture. The reason why you want the first layer to be packed very, very tight is so that that peat has good contact with the moss, so that it can have good contact with the water inside of the water trays. And there you go, the bottom layer is now very, very tightly packed with the peat and the perlite mix. The next layer we're going to do about 2 inches to a little bit more, but not as compacted, but a little bit more compacted than what you would have the rest of the pots mixed in, and I'll explain a little bit more as to why this is. So there we go, that's the next layer, a little bit less tightly packed than the first layer, and this is just so that this layer has good contact with the previous layer, but we want the compactness to become a little bit less, because when we put the plants in, we don't want them to be struggling to grow their roots through very, very tough soils. So as you go higher and higher, you compact it less and less, but enough so that each layer can obviously have good contact with the layer below it, so that you can have good contact with the water so your plants don't get thirsty and die. And we just continue this layering process, put in a couple handfuls and just pack it down very lightly, and we continue that until we are about 2 inches away from the top where we would actually put the plant's roots in. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So this pot is pretty much full now, so now this is when we choose our 10 plants that we want to have inside of this colony pot. And now I can make this less than 10 plants. 10 was just an arbitrary round number that I thought up of. So, you know, you can obviously have less or more, but this colony thing is really just what I want to do, because it'd be really cool to have a whole bunch of different colony pots, you know, big pots everywhere with different species all over the garden. So that's what I want to do. So I want this one because it has really broad leaves, and I want this guy because it has very narrow leaves, and they can be like opposite each other because they are opposites. And now, this is how the colony pot will look like, guys. It's going to be a nice big pot full of these different Droseras over here. All of them are Drosera capensis via red, but some have variations. And it's going to be so nice to have a nice big pot like this with super big capensis, and these will be like our mother plants. We'll get all the seeds from them, we'll take cuttings from them, and it's going to be really, really nice to have like a giant pot with these guys. And how cool will it be to have a pot like this for all of the different species, guys. It's going to be so, so nice to have them all. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you guys can follow along in that journey, and you guys can see us create all these different colony pots and have them all over the garden. So what you're going to do, get a a big handful of the moss, of your mixture. Place it where you want your plant to go. Push it up against the side of the pot, and then you just dig a hole down. I hope you guys can see this. You dig a hole down, stick your plant in there. See, I don't want it to be right up against the wall, even though I wish it could be. But yeah, just make a hole for it. Put it inside of that hole. Make sure that the crown of the plant, like where the leaves grow from, is at the levels, at the soil level. And you just fill in that hole and you push that soil up against the roots. So as you can see, this plant is now potted up, but from this direction, you can see how flat it is. So you just push it up right against the roots, get the plants all happy, all planted up. And that's the first one done. So I'm just gonna go around in a circle, I'm gonna do them all, and then I'll show you guys the end result. And there we go, guys. This is our finished colony pot. I hope you guys think it looks good. I think it looks pretty good. What you need to now do, once you have potted the seedlings up like I showed you, once you push them up against the side and compacted that soil around their roots, you want to actually spray down the plant by the crown of the plant, so that you can try and get all of the soil that's above ground to kind of fall into all the little crevices and holes that may be in the soil. So obviously that there's good contact with the soil to the roots, and that you can actually hydrate this media a little bit more. So I have my big pump bottle. What I will do is pump it up and I'll spray from above. If you guys are looking for small spray bottles or big spray bottles or peat or perlite or sphagnum moss or anything like that, you guys can find them in the links in the description below. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to pump it up and spray it down, and let's see if any of the soil actually does move down, or if not, it means that I had done a good job of actually packing the soil up pretty well. And there we go, guys. It looks like there wasn't much or any soil that moved down, which is obviously great, which means we don't have to put more soil in there. But now the most important thing is that you have to put your label so you don't forget what plant you have growing in the pot. So this is our Drosera capensis red. And you need to now put this big pot or your smaller pots into water trays so that the soil can start soaking up some of that water that it really needs. Especially right now, once we just repotted the plants are thirsty, they've been out for a while. I'm gonna go move this big pot outside. Let me know if you guys like the colony pots. If you guys think this pot looks good, let me know in the description below. But I'm gonna move this guy outside now and give him a good watering. And then I will start potting up all these guys, which I'm not looking forward to because it's gonna take so damn long. But anyways, we need to get the rest of these guys all potted up. So I have these smaller little pots here. These are 85 millimeter pots, and I think they're a pretty good size for these plants. They'll sit there pretty well. And as I said, we're just gonna fill up these pots. We're gonna do the first layer at the bottom pretty well packed down, pretty tight, close to the water so it can soak up that water. And then from there onwards, just lightly pack it down so that the roots have good contact with the soil and the soil has good contact with the water. And I'm gonna do this, I guess I'm gonna do it 93 more times, guys. So I'll see you in like 20 years. And there we go, guys. So that's it. The plant's not gonna look very good because obviously it has soil all over it, but when the new leaves come out, it's gonna look much, much better. And now just spray it down. And this plant is now ready to go to a new home. If anyone actually wants to get the plants, I don't think anyone wants these guys. Okay, so let me continue and I'll bring you guys back when I've done like, I don't know, 50 or so. Okay guys, so I've just finished planting up 18 plants because I didn't want to repot them all simply because no one's going to buy them, and I don't want to waste all those soil and pots and stuff on plants that no one wants. So what I did is that I have done the 18 plants here, 6, 12, 18. So there's a couple plants if anyone wants them. And all of the plants that were in the pots, they're back in the pots that don't look so good because they've been squished in there. But yeah, they're just going to continue growing in this pot until they ever need to be repotted again, which will probably be never because, as I said, no one really wants these plants. But yeah, that's how to repot your Drosera capensis. Super, super easy. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video on how to repot your plants. As I just said, it is very easy. You just mix the soil, the correct soil, a hard layer at the bottom, and then you just layer it up slowly towards the top, put your plants in, and then just water them. It's super, super easy. And yeah, I do hope that we can figure out what happens with the website because it really sucks that he's taking all my money and I have literally nothing to show for it. And yeah, anyway, please like this video if you enjoyed it, if you find it helpful, if you feel sorry for me, if you feel happy for me, whatever, just leave a like and comment down below. but what you think about our colony pot. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.